Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries is a Christian organization founded since 1909 in Detroit, Michigan, to serve the people, disadvantaged people. We provide shelters, we provide feeding, we provide drug and substance abuse, we provide mental health services, we provide senior citizen services, we provide youth services to about 2,500 people every single day in 21 locations in the metro area. Our relationship with Gift for All God Children is very essential and very important because every year we support a lot of kids and a lot of family as a whole with a lot of support from back to school to Easter baskets. And the biggest event would be the Christmas event, where Gift for All God Children give us a lot of resources, a lot of gifts to bless the kids. So without their support, we can't reach more than 8,000 children that we are servicing every single year.
So God has had a plan. I mean, we started in 1987 as a small Christmas outreach to just, 3 churches in Detroit. And then I think it was about 1989 when we actually started. I was in the auxiliary for the mission. I joined then. And we started sponsoring children and families for Christmas here. And over the years, just thousands and thousands of children have been blessed because of this partnership. What Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries does every day, they're on the front lines, and we are a supply line. So we connect the children and the families that they help to families mainly in other churches and businesses and schools that will buy these beautiful gifts for children that will come to Dr. Audi and his staff to give out. So we are a great partner.
Before we partner with Gift for All God Children, we did few services like any small organization does it in different sites. So we were blessing the kids. We bring Santa a little bit. We bring few toys. We provide a meal. So it was just a small celebration to help the kids who are within our facilities. Our partnership with Gifts for All God Children was a great blessing, not only to the people that we serve, but also to our communities. So, because we are rooted in the community and we needed to support people outside our service within our building, so we wanted to expand the service. Gift for All God Children partnership enabled us to create a formal, real, good, big Christmas services, blessing not only the kids, but also their families. So with the partnership, it gave a great opportunity for the churches and for the whole Gift for All God Children team to be able to shop for kids that we have, because every year we supply them with their need list, with their wish list, and they would go out and buy those stuff, and then we bless those families with things otherwise they wouldn't have. And now this program has grown so much to reach probably about 2,000 families alone. I mean, I know Gift for All God Children goes beyond the Detroit Rescue Mission, but for us at Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries was blessed to be able to reach about 2,000 families. That's about 8,000 children. They're being blessed because of that partnership with stuff, not just a minimal small toy, but they get some essential needs that they require for the people who leave our program and they want to be independent living, or for the kids and the family who are still within our program and otherwise they wouldn't celebrate Christmas and they wouldn't have the stuff that this partnership between Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries and Gift for All God Children provide. And Patti has been leading this work for many years. Yes, since she was in our Women Auxiliary program, she saw firsthand what's going on and motivated all of us to be able to grow and be able to support more and more. And the blessing that this partnership brings today is beyond imagination. I think, based on my relationship with a lot of providers and a lot of organizations, there's no organization in Southeast Michigan, at least, that reach the number of people that we are reaching every year for the last at least 20 years.
Well, Dr. Audi, it's been a long ride for the UNI and for DRMM and Detroit, for the Rescue Mission and Gifts for All God's Children. We have been partners, probably since 1989, like I think I said.
Yes.
So I remember when we first started, getting children, we would do the party next door at the Tabernacle.
Right.
We would bring the children from all the different facilities.
Yes.
And that was you were small back then.
Right.
You didn't have 21 sites that you have now.
Right.
But we even provided gifts for the men that could give, that are in your sites that have not had relationships with those kids. And I remember one in particular, Dwayne Tabb, who came through your facility off of the streets. He hadn't seen his daughter in 9 years, and he was signed up with the social worker to get gifts through Gifts for All God's Children. And those gifts helped him reunite with his daughter.
Correct.
That was his first thing that he could give her after getting clean in your program. So I lived at DRMM almost. I mean, not as a person, not a client, but I volunteered a lot of hours here back in the 80s and 90s in the auxiliary. So I was at almost every site you had back then. And grand opening of DeVos Center and the grand opening of Oasis, and just incredible program you have. And so I'm one of your best cheerleaders because I know what you do. I've seen it. And the children that have benefited and the families and the lives you have changed through this ministry, that God has miraculously taken, the Carl Riggins, the people that were so instrumental in leadership here who are now in heaven. But so I don't know of another ministry that affects as many kids and families as DRM does. And the stories of the children, what they've been through before they come to your facilities, it breaks your heart when you hear those stories. So for us to provide beautiful gifts, brand new coats and brand new toys and brand new socks and underwear and just everything that these kids get, they deserve it. A lot of them, some of them have never had a Christmas before until they came here and with the partnership. So we are great together.
The partnership with a Gift for All God's Children is very essential to our operation. Because without that partnership, we would have to raise a lot of funds to be able to create that moment of celebration around Christmas time for the kids and their families and for the community. So that's a big burden lift off our back with that relationship. So they do Gift for All God's Children go out, get our lists, get the numbers of the people being sponsored. They do all the work throughout the whole year, making sure that no kid, no family go without support. Some get supplies for their homes, from cooking wares to TV to clothing to toys. So it is not just a regular gift that, with all due respect to other organizations, go get a toy and give it to the kid. No, it is things. Some kids got iPads, some kids got computers, some kids got coats, somebody got clothing. And in order for us to focus as an organization on this fundraising, it will take away from a lot of other things that we would have to do. Detroit Rescue Mission, as I mentioned, provide a lot of variety of services for the people who've been homeless, who've been in harm ways, coming out of prison, being a veteran and become homeless, a senior who did not have nobody to go to a food box going into their homes to make sure that they prevented. So if that burden have not been lifted off our back, we would have to spend a lot of money. I'm not going to put a dollar amount because it varies every year on how many, but for sure it's thousands of dollars that is being spent on the individuals. Some people get probably $100 gift total to families who gets $5,000 depending on their needs. And the sponsorship that they bring, it is not about the value of the dollars. It's about how much it make the people feel good about themselves. First time, some of them, they receive the gift. First time they know what Christmas is all about. So that partnership is very, very essential to the Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries, both on how we make sure the people are happy, as well as from lifting a financial burden for the Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries.
Well, I think, Dr. Audi, too, the people that give get almost as much enjoyment out of buying and shopping for a child in need as the kids getting it. I mean, we have families that year after year after year, they sponsor kids through Gifts for All God's Children. And they look at those lists. Mainly it's socks and underwear and coats and hygiene kits that they ask for, of course, and toys.
Sure.
But the families go out and they shop for this child that they sponsored through us, that's going to be wrapped, those gifts with his name on it, and they're going to come to you through Gifts for All God's Children. So I think, this way that God has put us together for all these years, and is definitely a huge blessing to you, but it's a blessing to the people we work with that get to give. People want to give, and we are that conduit of connecting, not just your age, place, but we got like 52 last Christmas. We worked with 52 places, and Detroit Rescue Mission Ministry was one. So if we counted all 21 of your facilities, we'd be up to 70 some. But we love what you do, and we love the children that we can bless by the people that give.
Sure. There is a lot of fond memories that we can talk about, how family has been impacted by this great partnership. But there is one stood out. Then we noticed there was an article in the newspaper about a family that they were displaced from their home, 4 kids, father and mother, and they were scattered. The kids were scattered in different homes. Family did not do anything wrong, but they did not have the means to care for their kids in one home. The home that they were living in was not good enough. It was deemed to be closed. We heard of the story. We saw the story in the news. And it was around October. And we wanted the family to be all together connected back before Christmas. So we didn't have a lot of time to work the court system to make sure that the kids are back to their family, find a home so we can put them together as in one thing. So before Christmas, we were able to secure the house, get the judge to order back the kids to their family, but the house was empty. So we were able to furnish it, with couches, with bedrooms, but they didn't have anything for the kids to make it live. And I, with the staff, we contacted Patti Jacques. We said, look, we have this family, 4 children. The oldest, I think, was 16. The youngest was like 2 or 4, something around that time. And we said, we gave them the basics, but they don't have things to celebrate Christmas. Sure enough, I remember we got toys, we got blankets, we got clothes, we got a few cookwares, we got a lot of things that we didn't think of. We were able to give them things that regular people don't think about, but it makes a lot of difference for people who didn't have anything. Started with a toy, going up to a clothing, coat, cookingware that we sometimes don't think about. The pots and pans and the other utensils that people use for cooking. So that made a big difference. This is what this partnership is all about. This is in addition to, like Patti said earlier, I think there's at least more than 100 individuals, minimum, who did not have no relationship with their kids. Some of them came from prison, they're returning citizen, and they didn't have no relationship, and they didn't have enough money to initiate that relationship. And because of those gifts around Christmas time that they were given to them so they can initiate contact with their kids and not going to them empty-handed, but bringing a valuable gift to their kids. And it is tailored to their age. So it's not like you just bring anything. The gifts are tailored to the kids' ages, which created so much great relationship back between the men who did not have a relationship with his kids to have a very good partnership, intimate relationship back with the family. Those are things that, what price would you put on something like this? This is the ultimate gift that we can provide to reconnect back families and create a positive environment. So God had worked miracles through this relationship and will continue to grow.
When people think of Christmas gifts, they don't really get it. I don't think how, like you just said, what a gift can do for a family or for a child or for, bringing families together. And I remember when I was in the auxiliary for the mission, we used to provide for the men and women in your facilities. Yes. We did those Christmas bags every year. And one particular year, we were short, like it was right before Christmas. We were doing gifts for our children. We were doing the auxiliary bags. We were short like 40 or 50 for the men that particular Christmas. So I get a call from down here with the numbers and they go, Patti, what are we going to do? We're missing 50 people that we need to provide for. So I called our supervisor at our Christmas Children Workshop and I said, Sandy, pull together whatever you can, for these men that don't have anything. So we pulled some socks and she had a garbage boy. She said, what am I going to put them in? I said, well, get 50 garbage bags and put what you can put. And she goes, oh, this is pathetic. And I said, okay, well, we'll just start with that. Well, then I get a call that very night from a friend who said, I have a lady who has a lot of resources, a very wealthy woman who wants to do something very special for Christmas this year. This was probably December 21st when I get this call. And she said, is there anything that this lady can do to help Gifts for All God's Children or you? And I go, oh yes, I got these 50 men that need something for Christmas. And she said, that would be perfect. She said, tell me what they need. And I said, oh, they need a hygiene kit. They need socks. They need a hat. They need gloves. And I told her the list. So she called up this friend of hers. And the backstory of this is her friend was in New York City out for lunch a couple days prior to that, because that's what you kind of do when you have a lot of money. You reach your friend in New York and you fly back. Well, she came out of the restaurant and she saw a young boy flat in the street with no shoes on, had passed out. And she couldn't leave him. She just saw this kid there and she called the police. She waited till that boy was taken and she said, she came home and she couldn't get that image out of her head. She wanted to go back and try to rescue this boy in New York City, but she couldn't. There was no way she could do it. Right. So she reached out to her friend and said, I can't be home on Christmas Eve. I have to do something. So that was the connection that she called me. So this lady went and bought 50, Old Navy bags, and she filled them with everything brand new. And I gave her this we told her we had pulled a few things for Gifts for All God's Children Workshop. She came over and looked at those bags. She goes, oh, no way. So she didn't even take our stuff. So then she got a limousine the night of Christmas Eve. She loaded those 50 bags. She brought them down to 3rd Street at the Mission on Christmas Eve, unloaded those for the men. She stayed for the Christmas Eve service while they got those gifts that we were the conduit.
Right.
So we wrote it all up. It was called The Miracle on 3rd Street. Lois and it was a miracle. Yes. It was just God putting that young boy in her path and her calling this person who called me, who, because of this partnership, lives got changed. And she went on to stay helping with the rescue mission. Right. She put on a big party for you. Right. She did a lot of stuff because God plopped her in here that Christmas. So
the gift that support the families from this partnership, it is beyond the one gift time. It is not only just a year, but it's a lifetime change. The kids, when they receive those gifts that they did not anticipate, it changed their life. We're talking about children that they did not have nothing. Some of them, they're living in cars. Some of them, they've been living with no father. Some of them were living with no mother. Some were adopted by their grandchildren. Some of them, their parents are dead, or they're in prison, or they're out doing things that we value them as a human being, but they got off the right track. And so those kids usually are at high risk, and in the same time, they don't know the meaning of somebody giving them something with not asking for anything in return. So when we bring those gifts to those children, it definitely strengthened the relationship between us as an organization and the children, which create a great impact on how they behave through the school year, how they become more involved, better listeners to what we tell them, because now they look at it as a love, compassion toward them. It is not like a system that hey, you gotta be here, you gotta do this, and no, it is a real life changing. It gives them a whole different perspective on life. So that's why those gifts are very, very important, not because of the value of the gift. It's the impact of those gifts on the life of the kids and their families. And for sure, as an organization, it shows the positive impact that we have in our community as a whole, because we're helping the kids who are coming to us, we're helping the family who are coming to us, but we're not forgetting the people who are poor within our community and within our reach. That's why I can't say enough about the importance of the relationship between the Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries and Gift for All God Children and its impact overall when you look at it 360 degrees, not only for the people who are receiving, but also for the people who are giving. Because now the families are going out getting lists, knowing that they're helping people who are in need and creating a very good positive environment. You know, you would see the families when they go shop and they teach their children who are living a comfortable life to think about the people who are unprivileged, and they get so excited. So it impacts the people who are infected by poverty and other issues, but also impacts positively the people who are shopping and doing a lot of things. So it says it takes a village to help. It is an actual village, a whole community working together, and I can't say thank you enough for the relationship. And I want to say to the people who are donating to this particular cause that keep on helping, because somebody like Patti, that I've known her for at least over 30 years now, that she dedicates herself to help others. She's not doing anything. There's no benefit to herself or her family or her organization is, to benefit. She's dedicating her life. I know she used to bring her husband and her kids and everybody. They need to work to make sure that other people are happy. Not everybody can do that. But so if you're looking for an organization to invest in, knowing that you're making a difference in people's life, this is the place to go.
You are a frontline ministry.
Yes, thank you.
We work with frontline ministries. We are, I call the providing ministry. What do you want to call it? We are the backline ministry. We are the, you get to give those gifts because we give them to you to give. And that's what our purpose is to connect those children and families back into your ministry and into the churches we work with in the inner city, or the Power Company Kids Club or Good News Gang. That gifts that we get to give you so you can have a stronger relationship with those kids and family, and not just at Christmas. So when they get their Easter buckets or Easter baskets, or when they get their school, they just got back to school supplies that we provided to you and a bunch of other, to the Rescue Mission and a bunch of other things. So all year long, you get to have a stronger relationship with those kids, because, and you wouldn't be able to do it without us and without our donors and people that shop and donate and volunteer. We're almost, 99% volunteers. We hired our first full-time employee last November. Dr. Audi, we have a full-time, and it's not me. So, but we're, 99% volunteers.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's people that have a heart that God has chosen. He just plops these people into our life of our organization. And we went from a very small beginning, 187 children that first Christmas. Now last year was 3,560 children. So, and we went from 3 churches in 1987 to 52 last Christmas. So, and not just Christmas, but all year long. So that is our joy, is first of all to be a conduit between those that want to give and those that need it, that you provide for, and to support the frontline ministries, those that are 365 days a year ministering to these kids and these families, because you have been called to do that, and we have been called to be your supply line, so you can do that and you can bless these families. So it is a great thing.
Because Gifts for All God Children shows up with the gift for Christmas, Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries can continue to bless people with and draw a smile on their face and be able to do things that and feel things otherwise they wouldn't be able to do.